After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 368. Today is Saturday, August 17th, 2019, as we are recording.
And one of these days we'll actually have tea.
Yeah, we have water again. It's, yeah, anyway. I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
Want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you are new, we're glad that you found us, and we hope that you discover something that you enjoy and that you'll continue to join us. If you are returning, as always, we're glad to have you with us. Always like to see you here. See in quotes. Oh, there goes my notes. If you are in the shadows, either new or returning, please do feel free to join us officially on the YouTube channel. You can just subscribe on your, it's on the right? I think it's on the right now. The little red button on your right.
Yeah, it'll be on there, right.
And press the little bell so you can get notifications. And if you want to go further and be able to be involved with our longs and our giveaways and things like that, then you can join us at the PHN home, which is phnpodcast.freeforms.net. That's phnpodcast.freeforms.net. And that's where all the, you know, the alongs and all the fun stuff happens. Okay? The fun stuff happens. And Laura Concert was very nice about plugging that for us, letting us know. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Okay. Now, we do have several new members to the PHN home. We have Ada Louise 18. Welcome, Ada Louise 18.
Welcome.
Mama Dory. Welcome, Mama Dory. Vicky B. I don't know if it's Bea or B. Vicky B-E-A. Welcome. Okay. And Kay Parakeet, which makes me laugh. I love that. That makes me think of blues and greens and fun sunny colors and things like that. Welcome, Kay Parakeet. We're glad to have all of you with us. And we hope that you will join us soon for all the fun that's going on in terms of longs and show off and all that kind of stuff and chatter. Mm-hmm. Okay? We are still, as always, Evan's Home. If you have something you want to send us, we'll get it to Gracie's Mom 62, who's the proprietor of Knitter's Magic in Winchester, Virginia. That's our local yarn shop. And she's awesome. And if you're in Winchester, you need to stop by and see her because she's very knowledgeable, very friendly, and she has the sweetest shop ever. And yeah, she does carry my yarn. little self-promotion there, but she's really fantastic.
Yes, she is.
And we have something in the works that's going to be fun, so we hope. So, okay, moving on for that. The Front Royal Pregnancy Center is also still accepting, you know, whatever baby stuff you have, and we usually take to the Front Royal Pregnancy Center things up through like toddlers.
Right, because Evan's Home has a wider age group that it helps.
And we're talking about anything knitted or crocheted. I think Evan's Home even takes sewn items.
They might. I'm not completely...
In fact, I think the pregnancy center does too.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
You know, baby blankets, baby hats, baby booties, baby sweaters, all that kind of stuff.
I don't think that any of them are picky about.
No, that goes to pregnancy center, and then anything the larger sizes, including scarves and things like that, goes to Evan's Home. Okay, and that's if you feel like you have stuff that you can give us. There's, as always, no obligation, but we are very appreciative of your generosity both in the past and in the present. Okay?
And in the future.
Hopefully in the future, yes, because they are awesome. Okay. Also, if you need another place to send things, we don't want to forget Brittany, who's as Comforting Crafts. And I think she does mainly hats and scarves and dishcloths, but she may do other things as well. And you can check that out on her Facebook page, Comforting Crafts, or if you're on Ravelry, you can also check it out in her group there. Okay. The Yarn Night Cappy has a new podcast up, so she's still up and running, and she's got a lot going on. And the thing that we are involved with is the Mickey Cal Cal Lao, which is through November 18th, which is Mickey's official birthday. And the rules are in her group. And if you're not on Ravelry, I'm sure if you PM her, she will give you the rules. And it's anything basically to do with, Mickey Mouse and Disney and all that kind of stuff. So it can be, theme park related, character related, all that kind of stuff. And of course, if you do things that are story related, book form, they can be eligible for Tea and Tails. Okay,
Correct.
And if you do it in the proper color yarn, it can be related to cardiac dysautonomia. Okay, so that's cool. And if you do toys, well, I guess by the time, we'll still be doing it because November, when the toy along starts,
Yeah.
and they are related to that, Disney theme, then you can put those in. So there's lots of ways. She's always very open to multiple dipping. Okay. And, okay, now, going into, so that's that. Crocheting Hoovian, and we've already spoken about the fact that she has a Facebook page for those who are not on Ravelry, who are in our group, who are also in her group, so we can post pictures there for the alongs.
Yes.
And she also has an email address for those of you who aren't on Facebook either.
Yeah.
And I think Talia has that in our
Yeah,
group.
the email address I have in the group. Yes.
Right. So that's that. She is doing the Creature Feature, Cal Cal Lao, with Darkfire Woman, who is from the Diary of a Physicist Farm Gal podcast, and that is in the third of 4 quarters. And I was listening to Laura, and she said she thought it might be fuzzy, woolly things, but she wasn't sure. So, but any amigurumi that you do gets a chance at a prize, I think, for the finished object. But if it's in the theme, it gets 2 chances, and it's all in the rules. She's still, I think, she just pulled for the Life Changes shawl pattern that she was doing, the Cal Cal Lao. She pulled on the podcast. So if you put in for that and you finished it, you need to go check her podcast, okay? Because the winner was announced. And I know who it is, but I won't say it because Laura might hit me with a wet noodle. So that's that podcast, along. And then she's got the Whip It Good, which is still going. And I believe she did say that frogging was allowed. I have to go back and
I
check.
feel like you did say that she said that.
Well, so check her podcast, the newest one. It does say definitively whether your frogs are allowed. And if that's the case, I need to frog a few things and put them in her along. Want to support Laura's alongs. I'm trying to think if there's another thing that she's... Tortoise versus Hare, of course. She's doing Tortoise versus Hare, and we are co-hosting that with her, and we'll talk more about that.
And which consecutive years is this now?
Oh, I don't know. 4?
Is it 4?
3, 4? How many projects have you lost? How many projects have you made for her? You made the...
Well, the first year I don't think we had something that we...
Okay, so that's nothing. Then you had 2 that you had to do something, so this is 4th.
Yeah.
So-
Because I kind of feel like the first year there was no skin in the game or whatever.
Yeah, so I think this is the 4th year we've done it, and I think it's the 3rd year that Brittany's done it. But we'll talk more about that when we get into our own alongs. In the Comfort and Crafts group, B-Wing, who is Brittany, has 2019, let me see. What are you reading in 2019? 19 hats in 2019, 52 dishcloths in 2019, and color work. So that's really cool, all that stuff, okay? And then in the Bee's Knees group, that is only in Ravelry. That's Studio Von Design, who is Vani. She's got 19 in 2019. I'm not real sure how active she is at this point, but I know that she has that, and she's very good at trying to keep up with everything.
Yeah.
She's very busy with this Masters of Hand Knitting thing that she's doing.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer she has for that.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer. I hope that she will keep us apprised, because I really do want to know how she's doing on that. I'm so proud of her for doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, now, going into our own, we have the PHN Tea and Tails year-long Cal Cal Lao. This started in January, so we're heading into the 4th quarter pretty soon here. We're in the 3rd quarter. This runs till December 31st at midnight, and then early hours of the morning, some moderator will close the threads, whoever it may be. I keep saying it might be Valeria, but it might be Patty, because Patty's like a night owl. I was getting up in the morning. I don't think I'd gone to bed yet. So
Sounds like Patty.
yeah. So but anyway, somebody will close it, and if it's one of us, you might get a few grace hours out of that. But if it's one of us or Rena or somebody who is a little more ordinary in their hours, and Rena's in the midsection of the United States, so if it's her closing it, then it'll be even more hours. If we close it, I tend to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but by the time I get a chance, if it's on a weekend, I might not be up till to closing it till later.
Right.
But in the weekday, I would get up and probably do it by about 6 a.m. So you guys might have some grace time. But anyway, that's a long way to say that January 1st in the early hours, it will be shut down. Okay. And I'm going to give you the rules here, and then you know that when I talk about other things that we're doing, that the rules are basically the same, and I will just be mentioning the changes in the interest of saving time. Okay, so projects must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted. Oh, and before I go any further, our co-host is the lovely Cappy for this, from the Cappy Yarn and I podcast. The Yarn and I podcast, Cappy Yarn and I Ravelry group. And she's on Etsy, and she's doing an update, so you might want to check that. I think she said she was going to do an update, or maybe she's getting ready for a show. She has a new one out too. I get confused sometimes when I see so many in a row. But anyway, okay, projects must be. She developed a shawl kit for us with a pattern that she developed for us, and we have a coupon code in the PHN home group.
Home thread.
The group in the thread, it's a dedicated thread that has a substantial discount for the kit, and a discount for all the stuff in her shop other than the kit is a different coupon. So she's always extremely generous with us, and she's very talented, and we're glad to have her doing this with us. Okay, so now I will reiterate so I don't get confused. Projects must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted. Previous whips are allowed, but must be worked on during the along, and must reflect the theme of tea and or tales. Okay, so tea and or tales. By tales we mean graphic novels, novelizations, chapter books. Did we say short stories last year?
I feel like we did.
I think we said short stories. They had a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
Children's books that have a beginning, middle, and end. That kind of thing. Let's see. If you're concerned about whether or not it fits the theme, you can look on Goodreads or Amazon.
Like Beowulf could work because
because
it's an epic poem, but that tells the story. It has a definite beginning, middle, and end.
And we mentioned that. But you have to be careful with poetry. You have to be able to make a case for poetry. It has to be like maybe a narrative poem or something. And then, was it?
Well, it would have to be like a ballad, because most ballads have a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah. Well, you messed me up, and now I can't think of where I was.
Sorry.
All right. PHN, hashtag PHN 2019 on Instagram, okay? The featured patterns are, as always, Talia's patterns. And then also Joanna Johnson's, Mom Cooks, Laura Concerts, and Studio Von Designs, as long as they are able to be, and of course Cappy's shawl and my shawl, if they can be related to tea and or tails. And my yarn and Cappy's yarn are eligible for 2 chances at a prize as well for the finished object, as long as it's related to tea and or tails. And if you marry one of my yarns or Cappy's yarns with a featured pattern, that's 3 chances at a prize. Okay. Yeah, we do have prizes, and I still haven't had a chance to reach this one person because things have been hectic as they have been all summer. So there are prizes for this third quarter, but I'm not going to talk about them, okay? And you saw the mega prize for the end of the year. Now, the cardiac dysautonomia, that's July 1st to September 30th. The rules are basically the same, except that the featured yarns, well, the yarns must be in shades of teal, blue, red, or pink. So what, shades of that. You can have them all together. You can do them just one, as long as it's substantially one or more of those colors. Okay. My yarn is a featured yarn. Talia's yarn patterns are featured patterns. My pattern is a featured pattern, as long as you have it in the right color. Okay, so you have just my yarn as a finished object. That's 2 chances at a prize, just Talia's pattern, 2 chances at a prize. But if the two are together, it's 3 chances at a prize as always. And it's hashtag PHNCDA 2019. Okay, and I want to thank everybody who bought the yarn. I appreciate that. Okay, I did close the pre-orders. If anybody else wants some, there's going to be some in the shop. If you can't get to it in the shop, let me know and I'll see what I can do. Okay?
It might take a while, though.
It might take a while though. Yeah, because well, I'll tell you about that when we get to shop news, but I've got a lot of stuff going on. Okay, now the projects cannot be finished prior to July 1st, but they do not have to be finished in order to be accepted. Okay? Let's see, I already did all this. Okay. Tortoise versus Hare 2019. Okay, I did say we were going to go back to this. This is Laura Concert's baby, and we're very excited to be asked to be doing this again. Like we were saying, we think it's our 4th year. And I think Brittany's been doing it also for about 3 years, and 2 or 3 years, I forget when she started. So we're really excited to be doing this again. Yay, Team Tortoise.
Here.
And as far as I know right now, Laura said that Team Tortoise has a substantial lead, so that's awesome.
It's sad.
So I already told you the co-host and the host board. This runs till the end of next month. The end of, let's see, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, yeah, through the end of September. So that runs through September 1st. Is that right?
Yes.
September 1st?
Because the twirling usually is going on through...
September, October, November. No.
Oh,
October,
okay.
November, December. It goes through to the end of September.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's see. And this year, the Tortoise versus Hare does not require it to be an amigurumi. So anything that's related to tortoises or
Well, I
hares.
think it's always kind of been like that, but we just never...
We never really
emphasized
I think
it.
because your featured patterns were your patterns were featured patterns. So anything that's tortoise hare related, it can be, accessories, it can be toys, it can be yarn, it can be colorways, anything that's tortoise or hare. Talia's patterns are featured. Laura's patterns are featured. That are the new ones that she's got coming out. The I forget what she calls them, but one's a turtle bunny and one's a bunny turtle. I have to start mine. Yay. So those are, when they come out, they will be accepted. I think she said it's coming out relatively soon here, so you'll have the whole month or whatever to finish it. So that's exciting. And Vonnie's little coasters that she made that are tortoises and hares, those are also eligible for 2 chances at a prize. I mentioned the yarn. So, and now Laura's yarn, because now that Laura's got her Etsy shop up, and she's got some yarns that she has one that's called
I like
Sea
her
Turtles.
tags. They're fun.
Yes, they are. Her sea turtle yarn is tortoise versus hare related, so that that's awesome, and that can be eligible for 2 chances at a prize for the FO. Do check out her shop. She's having substantial updates. She's got advent calendars coming up. I don't know how many she has left now. She only had a few, but she's willing to work with you if you see something that you like. So, check that out. I'm really proud of her for branching out. That's awesome. Okay, now, for us on Instagram, the hashtag is PHNCW Tortoise versus Hare 2019. So PHN for Pinhook and Needles, CW for Crocheting Hoovian, Tortoise versus Hare 2019 with the hashtag in front. Okay. Feature patterns: Timmy the Timid Turtle, Biddy the Bashful I almost said Bishful, Biddy the Bashful Baby Turtle, and Oops the Bunny, and also Valeria the Bunny.
Yes.
For us, Valeria Bunny.
Poor Valeria, the bunny gets ignored sometimes.
Oh, and the Sea Turtle, Tara the Sea Turtle.
Tara, I guess because they're newer patterns.
They're newer. Any of Talia's bunnies or turtles. Okay. And as I said, Studio Von Design and Crocheting Hoovians. Okay. Franciscan Gypsy Designs are available on Lovecraft. My yarns and Laura's yarns are available on Etsy. Laura's patterns are available on Lovecraft's Etsy and Ravelry. And when I finally get my pattern up, it will be available on Lovecraft. So that's where all those are. I think Studio Von Designs patterns only available on Ravelry at this point.
I think you are correct.
Okay. Let's see here. And there's more information in the PHN home if you need to find it. Now, before we go on to our whips and stuff, I do want to kind of touch base on what's coming up. The Toy Along is coming up in September. And then looking ahead to January, we're going to have, of course, the Ready, Set, Go. And we're going to have a New Year Along, which is going to be the Charity Along. And it's going to be a focus on babies, but it doesn't have to be babies.
Right.
Okay.
It's just because we tend to do charity for babies.
We tend to do charity for babies, and we're talking about anywhere from NICU to 4 years old or something for babies.
But everyone else, if knitting baby things is not your thing, we take any
we
charity
take that.
things.
And we haven't worked out the logistics, but it may be that baby things get a double chance at a prize, and the others are that. But we thought that since we have such a very charity-oriented group, such a very generous group, that we would give you a chance to win prizes for your generosity. To get kind of, we know you don't do it for payback. We know you don't do it to get recognized in terms of, rewarded. But every once in a while, it's nice to know that, to say thank you.
Yeah.
Because we get a lot, our community, our Evans Home, and our pregnancy center, and before that the hospital, have benefited greatly, and we'd like to just say thank you. So there will be a year-long, charity-long, with the emphasis on babies, but not only babies.
Right.
I can't pull out words today.
And just for those who are new coming in, the only reason why we stopped doing the hospital was because we got rid of our women's care.
Yeah, that's another big thing.
That's the only reason why we no longer give it to the hospital. So.
Right. We would have continued, but until they get their women's care back, which
is unlikely.
But the area is pretty much up in arms about it, so maybe they will. Who knows?
Sorry, I used to work there. So
I know. It's just idiocy to cut off half of your population.
Anyway,
we're not going to go there. This is a knitting and crocheting podcast. This is a Mommy and Talia podcast. Remember Davina?
Yes. And, she'd be pretty irritated.
Be very annoyed. We have home, sidebar, we have home movies back from when the girls were really little in Belgium and in Germany. And my husband would be carrying they didn't have those little tiny things now that you can do video, and he was able to borrow it from work, and so we were doing we bought the tape and everything for the VHS tape, to do the video recording, and he'd say, "What is this, Davina?" She said, "This is the Davina and Talia movie." Davina would kill me if she hears me say it.
Oh my gosh, she would absolutely kill you. But I know there were points where if I was upset about something, you'd see me running at Dad's legs, and I'd go off camera all of a sudden.
Yeah, because Talia was only, the first few movies, Talia was less than 2 years old. She was like, because when we went there, my husband pulled us over to his remote assignment because there was no reason for it to be remote. We didn't get any help because we weren't supposed to be there, so we kind of had to rough it. But we got there the day after Christmas. We left. So her birthday was 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later. So she was a year old. So by the time we left, she was only about 16 months or something like that. So because then we got orders to Germany from there as a family. But so Talia would be, you'd see her and she'd be walking and toddling around. When she finally walked, before time, she was bouncing on her knees all the time. But she would walk, and if she got upset or scared, and Mike is holding the camera, she'd run toward his legs, so you'd see this little blur, and then she'd disappear. And you used to do that a lot. Okay, enough of that. Whips.
Yes.
Rough drafts.
Your turn.
No, I went first last time. You just don't want to be told to stop what you're doing.
You're right, I don't. Let me change colors.
Okay.
There we go. And get a quick drink. So, because I'm nice and apparently will never have my projects last ever again.
I can't help it if I have more projects than you most of the time. And I always go first because I have more projects.
I know. I'm just trying to pull up my list. Okay, so I'm going to show first the one I probably worked on the least.
Do you actually have 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wouldn't have let you bully me into going first otherwise.
I do not bully.
Bully.
Do not, in fact, bully.
Bully. Woolly bully.
Bully, bully.
Okay, so, I mean, you saw the headless bunny last time.
Very dough bunny.
I
So
mean,
cute.
that's really rude to touch someone's stomach when he didn't ask you to.
Pillsbury dough bunny.
So this is Han.
Very cute.
The pattern is Bo, the Lapland Bunny by Mary Jane's Tea Room. And last time I had to pull out the ear
Right.
because I messed it up. I didn't get much progress since then.
Well, show it a little bit. They can't see it.
Well, they still aren't going to be able to see it because I didn't get very much.
They're not going to be able to see if you're doing this.
So there we go.
At least now they have a chance.
Yeah, very, very little progress. Just enough to be like, hey, it's part of an app.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll see how much I actually messed up and how much I just misunderstood and probably should have been yanking out. We'll see.
Well, then you'll know. But you know how much you've done the other year.
No, this is the first year.
Oh, well, I thought you had another year.
This is the first year.
Okay. All right. In my Stitched by Mimi teacups bag, I really love this fabric. I really do. And it's soft and it's sturdy. This is Sandy. Gave this to me a few years back. She made us all a bag, each a bag. This is my bonfire shawl. I thought I might be finished with this, but circumstances and stuff just got in the way. I did do about 3 rows. So, let's see, where's the front here? I think this is the front. So I made about 3 rows.
Oh.
Sorry. I had a little bit of a scare. I don't know if I was talking to Laura, texting her, or what I was doing, but, and I had to go back and tink back a little bit. I thought, oh, if I tink back and I mess up on this, I'm going to be so mad. So, I'm really close to finishing it. I honestly thought I might have had a chance of finishing it, but it was just not in the cards this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm using Miss Babs yarn, both for the body of the shawl and for the contrasting edge. It's Reishi and this is Vlad. So I really want to have this finished for Retreat and for the Fiber Festival. So at Shenandoah. So that's that.
Oopsie. Let me just correct. There we go. Let me just change colors.
One thing I've noticed since we're no longer on Ravelry is that I don't worry so much about how many projects I finish.
Oh, really?
I mean, I finish.
Why do you think that makes a difference?
If I set a goal, like I write a goal down, I get stressed until I hit it.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm still hitting my goal probably.
But you used to be stressed even before you had that goal set up.
Not as much. Not as much. I need to be able to. I think that
Or maybe you're just doing better of acknowledging the fact that there's stuff going on in life and you might not be able to.
That could be. There's always that. I just, I'm getting better at, because I'm not involved with multiple groups.
Mm-hmm.
I still have podcasts I follow, and I'm still involved with Laura's Alongs and stuff like that. But, and Cappy's. I don't feel like I'm trying to hit everybody. And Bakery Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Bakery Bears, though, I do mostly their running thing.
Right.
But I feel like I'm a lot more of a relaxed crafter now.
Mm-hmm. It's my turn. Okay. So in my Ploverbird Pigs bag.
This little piggy went to market. They're naked piggies. They should be ashamed of
That's what
themselves.
piggies generally tend to be.
They should be ashamed of themselves. They're not even taking a mud bath. They're just...
So this pattern is called, hang on. I don't feel like pulling out my chart, so I'm going to bring it up, the pattern on Lovecrafts. My project page on Lovecrafts. Because it's hard to find my exact spot in this chart if I lose it. I mean, I can do it, but it's just not as easy as it could be. It's going to take a second. Okay, so this is... Well, the project is my fuzzy bunny slippers. The pattern is women's bunny house slippers, the classic and year-round slipper. And it's by Two Girls Patterns.
They're really cute.
Yeah, so here's the
hanging upside down bunnies
picture she shows online.
She must. I think she was probably laying on her back with her feet up. It's really cute.
And it's got a little pom pom tail.
Aww.
So, that'll be fun. I think that's... And then there's...
That's a really good picture.
Right there. I should go to my Lovecraft All the While to just find what they put up on their page to sell it, because it's probably the best way to get a good idea of what the finished object is supposed to look like. So...
Is that the second one?
No, still the first one.
Okay.
But I finished the second ear. So my...
It doesn't have a lot of stretch, but...
It fits very well.
Good.
I don't want it to stretch too much.
No, you don't want it to fall off your foot,
Yeah. So...
Well, the ears are smaller than I thought. They're cute.
There's the ears.
That's good, because I was worried that if they were too tall, they would be, like, in the way.
Yeah. No, there's the ears.
That's really cute.
So I need to do the pom-pom. So the ears on, stitch the face, and then start the next bunny.
That's really adorable.
So... I think I was just too tired to care about starting the next part, so I didn't.
Right.
It required focus I didn't have.
Okay, my next one is in my Knitter's Magic lavender, I guess, flowers on a dark field. I'm not really sure if this is black or navy blue. I can never quite figure it out. Is my Welcome Little One project on the porch blanket. Knitting pattern by 5410 Studios. I love them. They're wonderful. This one I only did one row on. One row.
One row?
One row. So that's all I did. You can't really see much difference. It's getting shown because I only have a few projects and I did one row.
Well, I show them even if I work just like half a row because I worked on it.
I'm not sure. Do you have a measuring thing?
Of course. I actually just pulled up my one bag with a thing in it.
Let me see how close I am. Oh, I only have about 1.25 inches to do left of this, and then I can go into the pattern. So I must have made some progress. And I am using bulky yarn. This is Lady Fernico Creations in my Bare Necessities. Because apparently I wanted to have a couple of projects in this colorway. That's that.
Okay.
About that.
So my next one, well, I guess it's actually this one because I showed those two. Oh no, I have two more here, but it will be this one that I'm showing. So I actually worked more on this week than I thought I would. I only worked on it 2 days, but I mean this is a project that it does work up quickly because it's crochet.
Mm-hmm.
So the pattern is, and let me bring it up on Lovecrafts again. My project is Sweet Bunny Baby Blankets. Say that 5 times fast.
Why?
The pattern is Crochet Baby Blanket Afghan. Crochet Baby Blanket / Afghan Sunny Bunny, and it's by Pattern World.
It's adorable.
So, I mean, theirs is going to be more adorable than mine because there's more contrast. But this was the yarn that I had available to me.
It would be nice. It'd be very cute.
So you can see my bunny is starting to appear now, and the grass. My edges are curling because this is some Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton, which I don't like cotton, but I don't mind working with this. It doesn't bother. It doesn't feel waxy in my hands.
That's what I always said about I love this cotton Hobby Lobby. It's okay for like things like blankets and garments and things because it drapes really well. I'm surprised it's curling though.
It is curling, but that's okay, and it's all going to be washable.
Yes.
The rest of this is Caron Pound of Love. No, not Pound of Love. Pound of Love is a different one. This is the baby one.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
It's on my project page. Hold on. Going back to my Lovecraft project page. This is Lime Brown Pound of Love. Okay, I got it right. This color is turquoise. The color that the bunny is called Creamsicle. I had the turquoise from a different baby blanket. One that was designed by 10 Hours or Less.
That's George.
That's George. And that was a fun one. Although I held a couple of the strands of this together, I believe.
Oh yeah, he does that.
To make that blanket.
I would write to him and say, "Hey George, can I do this with a bigger yarn so I don't have to hold it together?"
And the creamsicle was something that Davina had. And was very happy to give to me. I stole the I Love This Cotton, this blue and the green from Mom. And I stole a couple of other colors of that from Mom as well. So.
We have multiple stores in our house.
Turn this back around.
Trading posts.
I'm back over here where I'm actually working on this.
Okay. Are you done?
Yes, I am.
All right. In my Knitting Turtles bag, Silver Shed USA, Davina's artwork, is my Belle the Baby Turtle. And I did this when I took I was going to say I did it when I took Talia to the hairdresser, but I didn't. I did it yesterday while I was waiting for Daddy to do some stuff, for my husband to do some stuff. He's setting up Davina's computer, and because he got a new computer for his birthday, and he's giving Davina the old one, he was setting it up. So I was working on this while I was talking to him. So this part has been done for a while, the top of the shell. Okay, and then this is the bottom. It's a very strange construction if you're used to doing Talia's patterns, or any other pattern I've done actually for a turtle, in that the bottom, and I'm not saying it doesn't work, I'm just saying it's different for me. The bottom is smaller than the top, so I guess when I stuff it, it's going to come around on top. I'm not sure quite how it's going to be put together, but that's the top and the bottom. Okay, and I started on the head. So this is the start of the head. So you can see the color combination here. Can you see that all right? I can't see because the camera's in front of me, but...
Yeah, they can see.
Okay. So this is Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn, I believe. This purple is Plymouth Yarn Encore worsted, and this one here is Hobby Lobby, one of the yarns I've been using for babies. I think it's I can't remember, but I've been using it for baby hats, and I've been calling the projects very creatively by the name of the yarn.
Of course.
And I can't remember what it is. So that's that. I was really happy with the work I got done on this. It was a last-minute project. I was working on it yesterday.
Let me just finish adding this new color because I had to add a new yarn.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure it's secure before.
Right.
So let me then cross this over, and then change. Okay, there we go. Alright, sorry. I had to add a brand new yarn, so because the other grass is popping up now on the other side of the bunny. Okay. So, usually I have one of these finished this week, but I haven't had a whole lot of knitting time this week. I've had a couple days where all my knitting time was in the morning.
Yeah.
Most of this week, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Only towards the end of the week did I get a little time later.
Before we did our liturgy.
Yeah. So this wasn't a great crafting week for me, because I would normally have this done already. So in my Molly Klein Designs bunny bag that Laura gave me is, again, pulling up my project page, this is the baby rabbit beanie. And the designer, I don't remember, so I need to pull it up. But I call this Project Jewel Bunny. And the pattern is Baby Rabbit Beanie by Sandra Yeager. Now hers is a lot more conservative than any of mine have been.
You're nothing but...
Well, also it was the yarn I had.
Well, you never do anything conservative. Are you kidding?
I'm fairly conservative.
Not color-wise, you're not. Not quite as bad as Davina, but...
And this is Yarn Bee Sweet Minis. So it's a yarn that came in a set of 3. And it's Hello Hummingbird. And the pattern actually calls for finger weight yarn with needles that a company that I'm using, like a Sport DK. It's baby yarn with US 6s. And I like the size better because I kind of feel like the fingering weight one ends up a bit small, even with the largest size. And I prefer knitting with a heavier weight anyway. This is the large size. No, this is the medium size. Let me check my notes. Hold on. I think this is the medium. Because the last one I did was the extra small. Yes, this is small. So she has it sized extra small, small, and medium. So this one is the small. So it's gonna be like a older baby.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to close it up. So this will be done next week. And this one you can see the contrast with the bunnies, which the last one you couldn't, and it made me sad because of the colors that I had chosen.
It's very pretty. Definitely a little girl.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because of all the pink.
Yeah. Whereas the last one was a little boy. But unfortunately for him, there wasn't enough contrast.
It was still very pretty.
Yeah, it was just that you couldn't see the bunnies on this panel here.
You could see it was just more
it just
subtle.
was. Yeah, but it's not meant to be subtle. It's color work.
Color work can be subtle. I've seen monochromatic color.
I don't care for it.
Well, that may be that you don't care for it, but doesn't
I
mean
feel like it's
supposed to.
kind of a waste of the hard work you're putting into if no one can see it.
You can see it. You can
You
see
have to
it.
squint.
Well, I think your eyesight needs to be looked at.
It really didn't show up very well, so I prefer it when it's not hard to see what you're making.
Yeah, well, I agree with you there.
And then, of course, in my TNG, so Slipstitch Studios DPN holder.
Oh, the next generation.
Yeah.
You've
never heard it? You've never heard it called TNG?
Well, I knew what it was, but I keep saying it should be Star Trek.
Yeah. So there we go.
Okay. In my Kiki Boo Owls bag, this project is not going to look like I made any progress on it at all. I took it with me to take Ty to the hairdresser, the hair appointment, and I decided to stay with her because I didn't want to run the risk of her having to wait for me outside in the heat.
I haven't been driving myself anywhere.
No. So, I got there and I pulled this out and I realized I got to a certain point and there was a knot. And this is going to go on a baby's head. So I didn't want the knot. So I tried to take the knot out and it came apart. And then when I tried to incorporate it in, it kept slipping. So I just pulled it all out and started from where the cut was. So I'm about where I was when I pulled back. It doesn't look quite the same because I lost that amount of yarn. But right now it looks very boyish, but this is the color, the Jazz Stripe. And it is kind of a dark hat, but I feel there's enough colors in it that can go either way. And yeah, I spent half of my time undoing it and the other half of the time getting a little... By the time I get to this point, I said I'm done.
You're like, it's got progress.
It got progress. So I honestly thought I was only going to have 2 projects this week to show you, and they both had 1 row apiece. So, or each had 1 row apiece.
So you're kind of delighted.
Oh wait, where does this go? This is my turtle pattern. I'm just going to turtle. Okay, your turn.
Okay, let me just catch this float.
I have a bad habit of taking the pattern out so I can find pieces and then not putting the pattern.
I've done that. I usually do that with my notebooks, though, and then
Yeah.
I have to figure out which notebook goes to which pattern,
Right.
which project, which actually can be challenging.
Yes, I'm sure it can be.
So, My last one I worked on is probably the one I worked on the most. In my Tortoise versus Hare Silver Shed USA bag, and I think this is year one's.
Yeah, because the other one had 2017 in it.
Yeah. And this one was always a fun picture, but I love this one. I kind of wanted to keep this bunny. I gave him away to charity, I think. I gave him away to the pregnancy center.
Yeah, he's cute.
Argent. He always had so much personality for some reason.
He did.
So
you have a picture anyway. On a bag.
This is... Hold on, again, pulling out my Lovecrafts. I feel like I'm doing a Lovecrafts ad or something. I'm not. That's where my project pages are. What did I call this? This is the sweater. There it is. Lavender Bunny Pullover. And this is the Bunny Yoke Pullover and Hat for Babies and Children by Angela Hahn. So there's... Oh, it's hard to see.
It's very pretty.
There's one. That's the sweater itself. And...
You haven't started the other part yet, have you?
The hat? No, I haven't.
Yeah, that's cute. Is that the back end?
That's the hat.
No, I thought it was the
back
yeah,
one end. Of them is a bunny bottom.
Bunny bottoms. Who was it like the bunny bottoms? Is that Jody?
Jody. But, I am using Knit Picks Sport, Brava Sport, and I want to make one that's red, I think, too, after I'm done. But
red and white or red and yellow or red?
I'll figure out the other colors later.
Red and yellow would be kind of scary for the bunny.
Yeah, I think it might be, the bunnies might be white, or they could be gray.
Yeah, they could be gray.
But...
Or brown.
Or brown.
A tan, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be a tan, I think, not a deep brown. So this colorway is Freesia. So this purple is Freesia, and then I have just a plain white for the bunnies, and a gray for like separating the purple from the white. So I've been done with this sleeve for a little while. Well, I'm not sure if I had it done last podcast.
I don't remember. I think you did.
Yeah.
I think you did because I was asking about construction.
Yeah. So
little baby sleeve.
Little baby sleeve. Because this is the smallest size. I think it's...
Little baby arm.
I think it was 6 months.
It's a little baby arm. So cute.
So there's one. And then I'm getting close to the end of this sleeve. And then I'll be able to start the body.
Adorable.
So it's been nice plain knitting for when I can't focus.
You're going to pick up sleeve. I don't understand how you're going to put that to the sweater.
Well, these are for picking up later, and then you knit from that point. I've done it before. It's just been a long time. Mm-hmm. I'll remember how to do it when I get to that point. So I can see baby sweaters becoming a thing that I enjoy to knit. Mm-hmm. I know that they don't necessarily last the wearer very long because babies grow.
So what? They get passed down and they get passed around and
yeah,
you know, they get used.
But there you go.
Okay. Let me see here. My last project is in my Universal Studios bag, blue bag, and it's my Ninja Turtle baby blanket from the Ninja Turtle baby blanket pattern by Lisa Vanilla on Lovecraft. And this was one that I only had one row on until this morning, and Tayo came in to this room here where we do our podcast in my classroom den and said, "Mom, I need more blood work done." So I brought this with me and I got a couple more rows done on it. I think not a couple rows. I got like a row and a half.
And it wasn't like I just sprung it on her. When they did my blood work last Saturday, they warned me I probably would need more done because my doctor
But I didn't
always
know.
requires complex.
I didn't know that was going.
She didn't know, and I didn't know either
It
until
was
this
just
morning.
sprung on us. So
yeah.
But I got one full row, and then you can see where I've stopped here. So I have a few more rows to this before I go into Leo's color, which is this blue. I can find it in here. Because I have Donnie's color in here too. It's a very dark blue that I decided to go with for Leo.
That is a very dark blue.
Because it's not, it's sport
But
weight.
I think you're right. The bright might be too bright for him.
Yeah, it's definitely blue, and it'll be that will be his mask.
Mm-hmm.
And then Donnie, after I do the green row, not Donnie, Raph.
Mm-hmm.
Raph will be next, and he's red.
Yeah.
So this is Raph, and he is this kind of a red.
Yes, he is.
The only time he's not is when it's dirty, which with Raph is not unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
So, not a lot of progress on this, but it was something I could sit there. The people sitting next to us were very loud, so it was hard to concentrate, and this was perfect to be... and they weren't being obnoxious or anything, they were just...
They were just loudly having a conversation.
Yeah, I felt bad because I could hear everything they were talking about, and I didn't want to because I thought...
Well, they obviously weren't that concerned about it.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. But, so that's that. I did get some progress done on this. And this is fun because it's pretty mindless, at least to the point where I have to make the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So...
That's all for me. I just hadn't thrown this over.
Oh, okay. You might want to know what we're wearing.
Yes.
This is my, I'll Be There For You. This is the original test. And normally I wear this. The yarn is, I can't remember. I think it was Mandela in the DK. All the animals are coming down. Let me see here. The animals want their time in the sun here. I don't know why this won't stay up. It was up here a minute ago. Okay, well, anyway, PETA and Miss Kitty Cat, Miss Peppermint Kitty Cat want their time in the sun. Okay, usually I braid this, and this is the bigger version. The one I'm doing now is a sock weight, and I think it's going to be more of a scarf type of thing. I can't really see what I'm doing, but anyway, I usually braid it, and it would be like under a jacket or something. But it can be worn many ways, as I showed in the project. So it's a nice, just to keep the chill off my shoulders and stuff. And I didn't block this because it's an acrylic yarn, and I didn't feel like steam blocking it. So it might be a little bit bigger if I blocked it. It's got very, very long wings to it, so you can tie it, which is really nice. So that's what I'm wearing. What are you wearing?
Hold on. I accidentally put this through the front. I stranded in the front instead of the back.
Okay.
One of the challenges when you're doing flat color work is you have to remember to strand it the right way. Okay. So, this is another On the Floor's Floor by Simone Carite. And this is all Miss Babs yarn.
Yeah, I really like this color.
Yeah, I can't remember the colors now.
Yeah. Well,
one of them was Chirp, and I think that was the light blue.
Was it? I know it was one of the blues.
I feel like this one might have been Chirp.
Was this something to do with C?
This one was.
What one?
This was Marine.
Marine. The gray or the blue?
The blue, the bright blue.
That's what I was saying. Okay,
yeah.
so this was Chirp, and I don't remember the gray, but the gray is really pretty. And that's what actually got you to buy the particular pattern.
Because, well, I had the pattern already.
I mean, the color scheme.
Yeah, because I fell in love with this particular color, and then I pulled the other colors to match it.
I'm going to have to maybe see what that was, because I might want to make something out of that.
I have it in my
project page.
in my notes.
Yeah.
I might not have the project page up on Lovecrafts anymore.
Yeah.
Or yet. I don't think.
We don't have to do it right now. Whenever we get
No,
to
I'm just curious. I want to know what color that was.
Because I really like that color. It's pretty.
Let's see. I might have it. Because I do tend to put up my forest floors pretty quickly. Because, let's see. Yeah, that one I don't have up yet.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Spanish Lady one. I think because I was pulling over the ones I finished recently.
Right,
first.
I'm still pulling things over. Not everything I have is going to go up on Lovecrafts, but
Yeah.
a good amount of them are.
Mm-hmm. But this was a very, this color in particular.
I really like that. That's so pretty.
It's kind of like it's really a gray, but it's got like a purple undertone
kind of
to
periwinkle
it.
under it. Yeah, it's really pretty.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for whips. Do we have any FOs?
No, because I didn't finish my bunny hat.
Okay. And let's see. I don't have anything blocked or needing blocked or needing to be torn out or anything at this point. What's next?
Well, that leads you into shop news.
Okay, shop news. I just put in a major purchase for Bear Yarn. I'm doing something with Laura from Knitter's Magic. For that will be in the shop over there only, but I do have some of my own things that I'll be doing once I get the yarn situated that I hope to have up in the shop in the next few weeks, so you can keep your eyes open for that. I do have yarn that is being reskeined in increments so I can take pictures and put them up. I know I said I would put up the housewarming yarn last week. It has not been conducive here to doing anything of the sort. There's up and down. If you talk to Laura, she knows. I was talking to her on the phone to try and finalize some of the stuff for this project and that we're working on, and I had to stop and talk to the contractors because yes, we still have contractors. We now have painted walls and things like that, and everything is waiting for the plumber to finish up. So it is a step, but we have, looks like, one more week of some kind or other to worry about. So my schedule has been a little bit altered between making sure Talia gets to work and back, and she's had appointments afterward and things like that, which is a little unusual to have so many. But it's just been, by the time everything gets finished, I'm really tired. Wednesday, I think I had a little bit of I couldn't quite get my equilibrium, so it was very difficult for me to see the bright side of things. I wasn't depressed. I wasn't any of that.
You're frustrated?
It was frustration. It was, I don't know, it was just not my normal optimistic person who just kind of, it's like goes with the punches. I just about had enough, and it was very difficult for me to maintain equilibrium that day, and I just went to sleep. I took a nap because I hadn't slept well the night before.
And that probably also didn't help.
And then I took a little half-hour nap before my husband got home, and then when he got home, we went to bed early, and I was out. Mike said I didn't even move. So it was just, you don't realize how much emotional stuff and stress can take out of you. And generally I don't talk about this kind of stuff, but I think it's important to kind of touch on that when you have multiple things going on, that sometimes you just have to allow yourself to work through it. And if that means that you take a nap or you cry or you take a walk or whatever it is you do
to help you cope,
then you should talk to somebody. That's really good, because you don't want to bottle that kind of thing up. But I'm okay. I'm not an emotional basket case or anything. I just had hit saturation, I think. It's been a very long summer with from halfway through May, and we're already half through August, and things still aren't finished, and things with Talia's appointments and stuff like that continue. So it's been a challenge, but it's all good. God helps me with it, and we just move on from there. Okay, so what else do we need to talk about?
Then we're going on to any personal type stuff.
Yeah, I kind of segued into that real quickly. Just let me tell you, let me reiterate that things will be in the shop soon, and then I can say, and I'll talk more about the things I'm doing for my shop versus the LYS, so you guys are aware of what's going on. But right now, if you want to take your leave, we're going to start talking about some personal stuff. I don't know how much we actually have.
No, it's not going to be quite as much as last week.
But before we go, we want to thank the people who commented, wherever you commented. We want to thank Angela, LNS Crafts, Sue, and Brittany for their YouTube comments. If anyone has commented either on the PHN home or on the YouTube that I've missed, I didn't see you. You weren't there before we podcasted, okay?
Right. And I know that there's someone who, I forget who generally responds to my notification about the podcast with a comment on the podcast, and I know I didn't respond back to you, so I apologize. I have not been...
It's been busy.
Yeah.
It's been very busy. So things should be slowing down relatively soonish, I hope. I mean, at least the bathroom will be done. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we want to thank all these people before we get into the personal stuff. Yeah. Thank these people. We're very grateful. If you want to take off now, because we're going to be talking about a little bit of personal stuff, I already started with the house, then you might want to go ahead and take off. We don't mind. Just, we'd like to see you back next week for the Fun in the Woman Cave. It will be next week, as far as we know. We'll be podcasting on Saturday again. So we'll say goodbye to you now if you want to leave, and hope to see you then. We wish you a very blessed week. And now we'll move into personal stuff.
So, I am a little perkier this week. I'm sure you can tell. Part of it is I haven't had to run myself down quite as ragged during the week because I now have a wheelchair for work. And I try, after I've seen all my patients of the day, to see if I can push it a little bit with the rollator. But I really, if I have any amount of activity, I really do need the wheelchair. I'm not sure if it's more hot in my work or if what it is. Although I get flary here too, so I don't know. Regardless, the wheelchair's been a bit of a lifesaver. Even though at the end of the day, like Thursday, I still felt bad by the time I got to the hair appointment.
Yeah, she came to Taya's chair and to her wheelchair and to the rollator and did everything there. Yeah, because I had my feet up on the rollator and was sitting in one of the free hairdressing chairs. And normally I have my hair shampooed and everything. I was just like, can we just skip that this time? Just the thought of putting my head back because I was nauseated and I just felt pretty bad. So wheelchair is very much of a bright spot. I don't think it's particularly a bad thing for patients particularly people who are dealing with invisible, because I work with the psychiatric community. And I don't think it's particularly bad to have to see someone working through stuff who is helping you. I don't know. I think that could be beneficial. I've had a couple of patients who are a little bit more into themselves. Like, not that makes them sound horrible, but that's not what I mean. I mean, they're just because their problems are great, they're just a little bit more self-focused. But I actually had one because I hadn't called him all week the week before because I've been out most of the week. And I usually call every other day. But he actually asked me how he's doing because he knew I was out sick. So for him, that's a big deal. A step.
That's a very big deal.
That's really a step for him.
And Mom doesn't know this person. But
no, I just know vague. She can't tell me anything about him because of HIPAA and stuff. But someone who is into themselves, just like Davina, if she's gotten a lot better. But people who are like that, who can pull themselves out of themselves to ask about someone else, that's a big step.
Right. Yeah. So. And then also, so I have the wheelchair to help me at work, and it's cool and it's fun. I'm building up my arms because I have a manual one. Yes, Mom's doing a lot of lifting. Yeah. I haven't seen our basement in the whole week.
Or the upstairs.
I haven't seen the upstairs in more than a week. I think I passed up the section.
I mean, we have everything that she needs except for the washer and dryer on the first floor.
Yes.
So
there we go. Got a little too excited with my craft. I need to stop where I'm at because I'm gonna forget to go on with the grass. But I have this was Sue's suggestion a while back, and I finally went ahead and took it. I think I was in denial for a long time. I have the permanent handicap placard, and she's like, well, if you get the handicap plate, you can get a bit of a break on your insurance. I believe that's what Sue had said. I feel like that was what she had told me. I know there's
she has a lot of good advice.
And I was holding off, I think, mostly because I was kind of, a part of me was hoping I wouldn't need to use it that much.
It's better to have.
And now since the symptoms are actually getting worse, I've decided to just go ahead and get the handicap plate. It's supposed to arrive in about 7 to 15 days.
Postman's going to love us with all the packages coming in at that time.
Yeah. So, I will have a handicap plate, and my placard will stay in my medical bag that I have with me all the time. So I can, if I go in anyone else's vehicle, I don't have to remember to take it out of my vehicle.
Or to bring it back into your vehicle.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I forget it in your car or Dad's car, not too huge of a deal. Because I have my handicapped plate. So...
Daddy's car is not a car. He will be very irate if you call it that.
You're right. It's a truck.
It's a truck. It's not just a truck. It's a Ram.
So
he loves his Ram.
But yeah, that's probably the biggest news. My biggest acquisitions that I cannot show you because the wheelchair is in my car. But if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook,
you've seen it.
You've seen it. It's nice. I can put up my legs, which I have done. When I feel like I need it. And I've been asked, well, why didn't you go with an automatic one?
The
electronic one. Well, I'm like, well, for one thing, they are terribly expensive. For another thing, I don't want to lose all muscle tone.
Yeah. And the third tertiary, I can't lift that thing. Yeah. I can barely lift this one. It's like 50 pounds.
Yeah, I think that is actually what it is.
So,
although we're going to work something where I sit in the rollator and I can help you lift that. Because then it'll be a little bit easier on you. But yeah, that's a bit of a ramble, but there we go.
Okay, so keep your projects going in the alongs. They are all awesome. I usually am better at responding than I have been this time, but I've been thinking about what I have to do for various yarn dyeing exploits, yes. Trying to figure out, and then I had to figure out what to order. I ordered yarn, I ordered dye, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that I can get productive with that. You may see a little less knitting, less than 5 projects. You may see a little less knitting in the next few weeks as I get ready, because I'm trying to get ready for holiday stuff. And winter and that kind of stuff. There might be a little bit of fall, but because of the stuff that was happening this summer, I feel like I might have missed the window, so you might only see a little bit of fall stuff.
Right, because the stuff, our summer stuff is not really even ended with the stuff we have to do.
Right, we still have things to do. So you may start seeing some of the fall and winter stuff coming out of my shop, although I tend to dye what I like to dye regardless.
Yeah.
But, so that's that. But, for those of you who have been popping into my shop and not seeing any activity, that's why. It's just been very busy. I haven't had a chance to take pictures. I haven't had a chance to do anything. Poor people who ordered my stuff. I had just put a little custom order sticker on there, and that's all that. There's no picture or anything. It's just their
name,
information, and the name of who it's for. So I will be hopefully doing that in the near future. Okay. So we hope to have you guys. You said nothing else, right?
Yeah, nothing else.
We want to wish you all a very blessed week full of crafting, of whatever it is that makes you happy, that you stay comfortable and safe. And we hope to see you back here for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 368, and that's a wrap.
Bye.